January 13th, 2006. A bank employee dials 911, voice shaking. They have guns, 23 hostages, Banco Rio, Acasuso. Police response is massive. 200 officers, helicopters, snipers. The building is surrounded within minutes. Inside, a man in a gray suit negotiates calmly. The masked leader demands pizza, 30 boxes. The cops laugh. Amateurs. The negotiator thinks these robbers are idiots. He's wrong. Because while Argentina watches this hostage drama unfold on live television, 3 men are already underground, inside the vault, smashing open safe deposit boxes with a custom drill. The guns upstairs? Children's toys. The panic? Scripted performance. The real robbery is happening beneath 200 cops who have no idea. 2 hours later, the thieves will disappear from inside a surrounded bank. They'll escape through storm drains in inflatable rafts, leaving behind toy weapons and a mocking note. The haul? $20 million. The casualties? 0. Argentina will love them for it. But 1 month later, a scorned wife discovers her husband's affair. She walks into police headquarters and names every crew member. The perfect heist collapses because one man couldn't keep his pants zipped. 2003, Fernando Araujo sits in his Buenos Aires studio, joint in hand, staring at a newspaper about the Ramallo bank siege. 1999, Banco de la Nación. Police stormed the building on live television. The bank manager died. An accountant bled out. The manager's wife caught shrapnel. 1 robber went down. Argentina watched the massacre in real time and blamed police. Araujo sees opportunity. What if robbers could disappear from inside a surrounded bank? Not through shootouts, through magic. Araujo is 38 years old, calls himself an artist in 3 disciplines: plastic arts, martial arts, and cannabis arts. Translation: he sculpts, practices kickboxing, and grows premium marijuana. He has an electrical engineering degree and runs a paint shop 10 blocks from Banco Rio. He calls Sebastian Garcia Bolster. Bolster fixes motorcycles, his hands scarred from welding. December 2001, Argentina's economy collapsed. Banks froze all accounts. Bolster's family lost 80,000 pesos, while bankers kept their mansions. When Araujo proposes robbing Banco Rio, Bolster asks one question: will anyone get hurt? Araujo spreads blueprints. Banco Rio in Acasuso sits above storm drains running to the Rio de la Plata. The vault extends into the basement. During business hours, motion sensors shut off for safe deposit box access. 2 teams strike simultaneously. One stages a hostage situation upstairs for television cameras. Another enters through tunnels to empty the vault. No violence, just misdirection at unprecedented scale. Bolster traces sewer lines. The tunnel needs to run 30 meters through drainage, break through 2 feet of reinforced concrete without triggering alarms. They choose Acasuso strategically. After 2001's collapse, wealthy Argentines stopped trusting documented deposits. They crammed safe deposit boxes with untraceable wealth: cash, gold, diamonds, bearer bonds. Box rentals cost triple the city average. Unlike serial-numbered bills, private box contents vanish without trace once stolen. Araujo drafts the operation like a screenplay, complete dialogue and stage directions. The ground team becomes actors. Every phone call, every demand, every request buys time for the vault team below. He calculates exactly 2 hours and 7 minutes to crack enough boxes and escape. 1 second too short, they get caught. 1 second too long, police investigate the basement. Margin for error? 0. But they need funding and professionals who understand banks. January 2004. Ruben Alberto de la Torre, 51, chalks his pool cue when Araujo approaches. Everyone calls him Beto. He robbed banks in the 1980s with the Super Banda gang. He knows vault layouts, police protocols, hostage psychology. Araujo mentions the plan. Beto asks 3 questions. How much? 20 million minimum. How many guns? 0 real ones. How many men? 6 total. Beto agrees on one condition. He brings Luis Mario Vitete Seyanes, former military, combat tactics expert. Vitete specializes in psychological intimidation without violence. He once held 43 hostages for 6 hours, using only his voice. More crucially, he has money. He finances the operation with $100,000 cash for equal share. Vitete rewrites Araujo's script with military precision, takes acting classes, practices putting coins in his mouth to alter his voice. They recruit Julian Zaloe Cheverria as getaway driver, former racing mechanic, 46. He scouts 17 escape routes, times police response. 13 minutes from Acasuso station, he'll wait at a manhole 3 blocks away in a modified van with a hole cut in the floor. 2 other members join, whose identities remain mysteries. Hostages describe them only as Doc and the Kid. Their real names were never discovered. They vanish after the heist, never charged. Late 2004, they rob a smaller bank, netting 50,000 pesos for equipment. September 2005. Bolster enters storm drains at 2 a.m. in a wetsuit. The tunnels reek of sewage and methane. Rats scatter. He measures distances with laser precision. The drainage pipe runs beneath the vault, separated by 24 inches of concrete. He begins cutting. The pneumatic hammer bites concrete. He works in 10-second bursts, listening for alarms. 4 hours penetrates 6 inches. This will take months. His wife notices his absences. October rains flood the tunnels. He installs battery pumps, hauls lumber through darkness, building supports. One night, methane levels spike dangerously. Another night, he encounters a homeless man who flees screaming. Next morning, newspapers report nothing. Above ground, Vitete opens a checking account to study the interior. 13 cameras, blind spots near basement stairs. Beto photographs every employee over 3 months. Manager Diego Manzoni arrives earliest, leaves latest, carries vault keys. Security guard Carlos Perez, 58, 2 years from retirement, never draws his weapon in drills. Araujo scripts precise dialogue. Walter, played by Vitete, demands pizza at 2:47 p.m. The absurdity serves purpose. Pizza requires approval from multiple commanders, buying minutes. Beto releases 1 hostage every 20 minutes, maintaining hope for peaceful resolution. December 20th, 2005. Bolster breaks through. His headlamp illuminates vault floor tiles. He photographs the hole, seals it with quick-dry cement he can shatter instantly. 5 days before Christmas, final rehearsal. 2 hours, 7 minutes, real time. January 11th, 2006. 48 hours before execution. Araujo distributes replica weapons. Plastic Berettas weighted with lead. Weather forecast. 87 degrees, clear skies. Hot enough, police avoid heavy armor. One asks what happens if someone dies. Araujo's answer is immediate. We abandon everything. This only works if nobody dies. January 13th, 2006, 12:28 p.m. Bolster enters the drain with a sledgehammer. Behind him, Beto and Doc wade through sewage. Bolster strikes once. The cement crumbles. They're inside the vault. 12:31 p.m. Vitete, Araujo, and another walk through the front door as businessmen. Vitete approaches the desk. When guard Carlos Perez turns away, Vitete pulls his replica. Nobody move. This is a robbery. Military authority freezes everyone. Araujo locks the door. Within 90 seconds, they control the bank. 12:38 p.m. Silent alarm triggered. Police dispatch receives the call. 12:45 p.m. First patrol cars arrive. By 1:15 p.m., 200 officers establish perimeter. Helicopters circle. Snipers position on rooftops. Most heavily surrounded bank in Argentine history. Vitete calls the negotiator. Sounds reasonable. We don't want anyone hurt. Just need time to think. Releases Carlos Perez as good faith. Perez tells negotiators the robbers seem nervous, but not violent. Weapons look real. Police psychologists interpret weakness. Amateurs in over their heads. Wrong about everything. 1:30 p.m. Below ground, Bolster fires up his pneumatic hammer. Box 73 explodes in euros. Box 91 contains gold coins dated 1892. Box 156 holds bearer bonds worth $2 million. They work systematically. Some boxes contain family photos, love letters, ashes. These they set aside gently. Others burst with cash. One holds nothing but cut emeralds scattering like green stars. Everything stuffs into waterproof duffel bags. 2:47 p.m. Vitet makes his scripted request. Pizza. 30 boxes. The negotiator laughs. He want pizza now? Vitet insists. Send pizza. He releases 4 hostages. The request travels up command. Everyone finds it hilarious. They approve. Local pizzeria gets police escort. 3:05 p.m. Delivery drivers approach under guard. Oregano smell fills the lobby. Hostages eat nervously while cameras broadcast live. One woman later calls it the most surreal meal of her life. Television networks show the bizarre scene. Police psychologists see it as positive. Robbers humanizing captives means de-escalation. 3:27 p.m. Bolster's team cracked 147 boxes. Duffel bags bulge with 20 million in currencies, gold, jewels, bonds. Bolster checks his watch. Ahead of schedule. Time to go. He tapes their message to the wall. In a neighborhood of rich people, without weapons or grudges, it's just money, not love. They lower through the hole, one by one. Pull the bags after them. Load onto inflatable rafts. Paddle through sewage following glow stick markers Bolster placed months ago. 3:32 p.m. 3 blocks away, Zelo Echeverria waits at manhole 47B. Pile into his van through the floor hole. He pulls into traffic. At 3:33 p.m., while 200 officers still surround Banco Rio, the real robbers are gone. The van disappears into Friday traffic. Inside, Vitet makes his final call. We're coming out. 5 minutes. Hangs up. Leads 23 hostages to basement conference room. Stay here. Don't move for 10 minutes. We're leaving. Police wait. 5 minutes. 10. 15. Nothing. 7:45 p.m. 4 hours later. SWAT storms. Flash grenades explode. Officers sweep shouting, "Clear!" They find 23 hostages, traumatized but unharmed. Toy guns in a row. Pizza boxes. No robbers. Commander radios headquarters. The subjects have vanished. Silence. Then, what do you mean, vanished? 8:15 p.m. Detectives enter the vault. Boxes hanging open. Floor glittering with scattered pearls, torn velvet. A perfect circle hole leading into darkness. The note on the wall mocks them. One detective whispers, "They played us." Within hours, the story dominates every channel. Banco Rio robbers disappear like ghosts. The heist of the century. Police fooled by pizza and toy guns. Talk shows debate whether to condemn or applaud. Most callers support the thieves. They robbed the rich without killing anyone. After banks stole billions in 2001, this is justice. BBC calls it brilliantly audacious. CNN interviews hostages who describe captors as polite. Manager Maria Cristina reveals Walter apologized while using her as a human shield. The toy guns become cultural symbols. Headlines. They robbed us with toys. Graffiti appears. Banco Rio 6, Police 0. T-shirts sell out. A cumbia song tops charts. The robbers transcend crime. They're folk legends. Police launch Argentina's largest manhunt. Forensics find bleach everywhere, destroying DNA. Hair samples traced to 5 salons. False clues. The van contains nothing. The tunnel offers no fingerprints. 300 witnesses interviewed. 10,000 hours of footage analyzed. 1,400 leads chased. Every trail ends nowhere. By February 2006, the investigation stalls. No suspects, no arrests. The public laughs at government promises. But something is breaking. February 15th, 2006. Alicia De La Torre finds $73,000 stuffed behind bedroom wallpaper. Third time finding money. First under floorboards, then inside the water heater, now walls. Her house is a vault. She knows Beto was involved. What she doesn't know is he's leaving her. Beto has a girlfriend. Claudia, 23, works at a nightclub. He plans to move to Paraguay with her. Alicia discovers the affair through text messages, confronts him. He denies, admits, promises to end it. 3 days later, she follows him to Claudia's apartment, pounds on the door screaming. Neighbors call police. Officers arrive, find Alicia crying, shouting about stolen money and Banco Rio. One detective recognizes the significance. 5 days later, Alicia walks into federal headquarters, provides names. Beto, Vitete, Doc. Describes planning meetings in her kitchen while she served coffee. Overheard tunnel discussions, gun rehearsals, pizza strategies. Knows weapons were toys because Beto laughed for hours. She doesn't know about Araujo or Bolster. Beto kept her partially ignorant, but she knows enough. March 7th, 2006, 5 weeks after the heist. Pre-dawn raids strike simultaneously. 4:47 a.m. Police smash through Beto's door, find him sleeping beside $970,000 cash. 4:48 a.m. Arrest Vitete at his mother's house. 4:51 a.m. Doc surrenders. Araujo fled to San Juan Hills. When Army found him camping, he identified himself. Bolster was in Villa Gazelle, instantly admitted involvement. Police found $20,000 in his rental. Only evidence, Alicia's testimony and Beto's money. The rest of $20 million remains hidden. March 8th. Banco Rio gang captured. Polls show 68% wanted them free. Lawyers volunteer pro bono. Crowds chant support outside courthouse. Hostages express sympathy, refuse to testify. February 15th, 2010. 4 years later. Trial begins. 600 witnesses scheduled. Defendants: Beto, 56, Bolster, 40, Zalo Echeverria, 51, Araujo, 41. Araujo treats court like a stage, calls the heist art against financial oppression, quotes philosophers. Jurors lean forward. Bolster describes tunnel engineering with professor precision, makes jurors laugh. Vitete maintains military bearing. None deny guilt, they deny shame. When asked about missing millions, Araujo smiles. What money? We use toy guns. Ask the bank what was in those boxes. The prosecutor can't answer. Safe deposit contents aren't registered. Owners can't claim losses without admitting tax evasion. The court can't prove exact amounts stolen. Main issue: were guns real? Security swears they looked real. Crew maintains toys. Forensics proves the crew right. Children's toys weighted with lead. Completely unable to fire. May 2010. Sentences: 15 years for Beto, 14 for Araujo, 10 for Zalo Echeverria, 9 for Bolster. Police recovered 8 kilograms jewelry, $2,215,000 in mixed currencies, about 10% of total. Crew spent less than 1% before arrest. Vitete bought a Hyundai for $39,900. Bolster, a Toyota for $20,000. Zalo Echeverria, a Ford for $56,000. The remaining $17 million never surfaced. Some believe it's buried, maybe invested, earning interest during short prison terms. Araujo embraced fame, wrote a book, sold movie rights, lectures at universities, co-wrote the screenplay for El Robo del Siglo, the 2020 Warner Brothers film that became second most viewed Argentine film in history on opening day with 96,420 tickets. Netflix released Bank Robbers, The Last Great Heist documentary in August 2022. Araujo claims everyone won. Bolster struggled mentally with notoriety, couldn't process being known as legendary bank robber. Some congratulated, others condemned, confused about his own actions. Beto regrets everything, says Heist wasn't worth 9 years in prison, lost his wife, his son's respect, his freedom. Vitet lives in luxury, enjoys infamy, loved the notoriety, looks back fondly on the man in the gray suit. The heist changed Argentine banking. Stricter security implemented, police protocols updated for underground access. Case became cautionary tale worldwide. But in 2011, another tunnel heist succeeded at Banco Provincia, protocols already neglected. The Banco Rio heist remains a symbol, defiance against corrupt systems, proof that creativity defeats overwhelming force. They turned crime into art, humiliation into admiration, capture into victory, except for Beto. His wife got revenge. His friends suspected him as the weak link. The money couldn't save his marriage or buy loyalty. Alicia de la Torre accomplished what 200 police, helicopters, and investigators couldn't. She made the magicians disappear. But somewhere in Argentina, $17 million waits, possibly buried, hidden, or invested offshore. The crew will never tell. The perfect crime had one perfect ending. The money vanished just like they did, and nobody could make it reappear.